Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Grand. Okay, let's do this again. Welcome to the internet. Hello, Demons Up and Orinoco. Jerry sends his regards. He's at this very moment doing an interview with someone who lives somewhere very far away. So he's basically busy. And potentially next week he will be busy too, as I'm guessing they might be very over their heads for preparation for UK Games Expo. But be not afraid, the internet has delivered very interesting news today. But how have you all been? Hope you're doing hobby and achieving your goals in hobby life. Zolpenhead, welcome. A silent voice is a good enemy. I don't think I know that one. Might look that up later if it's not too naughty, too saucy. Yes, it's my channel, but let's face it, Jerry has very interesting insights, and we do all have a good laugh when he starts a rant about certain companies. Two big news I have on my list. Which one should we go first? Games Workshop or Catalyst Game Labs? Put in your comments on a postcard or in chat if you're here right now. So which one do we take on first? I'm fine with either. Games Workshop boo. So Games Workshop it is. Games Workshop allegedly has launched a lawsuit against a plethora of content creators, 3D artists, and Etsy and eBay shops, and is going full hog. I've only watched the video from what's her face again? That irritating last. John put up that video on Discord last night. Discourse minis. Make of it what you will. It's an interesting one. So basically, Games Workshop has used Florida as a state of nuke everything. And as Discourse has explained in her video, there are some that are valid and some that are totally bonkers. It's just insane. I've tried to get a hold of the actual legal papers, but couldn't for some reason. Maybe I'm too stupid to understand how that works. And yes, Demons Up, some creators write a very fine line. But there, she pointed out some examples that were very obviously not infringing on copyright, but using terms Warhammer as a marketing search engine optimization thing. Like somebody made a 3D printable paint pot holder, which was basically just a big disc with a insert so you could plonk your paints in and not spill them. And they called them Citadel paint holder because the center in the middle, the little hole, was exactly the size of a Citadel paint pot. Where's the infringement in that? Or to call your battle map Games Workshop compatible or Warhammer compatible. It's just, why? Well, is it a trademark violation if you do just a comparison? If you say this fits this, I don't think so. That's a trademark violation. If they would say this is a Citadel paint holder made by no, you can't use a trademark. But Citadel is not. Is it a trademark or is it a form of these pots are made to the specifications to fit? Be it as it is, the majority of the claims were made for Etsy shops and eBay shops, so I'm guessing we will see a lot of funny things. Oh, Baron of Dice obviously got caught in the whole shebang, so let's see how that turns out. Hello, Crispin and Nick. Welcome, welcome. I guess you can trademark a word, hence Games Workshop is now having Eldari instead of Eldar and stuff like that. Yeah, and what strikes me very much is that Games Workshop, a UK-based company, is using a Florida-based lawsuit to make things happen, which is always a weird thing to me, but then again, I'm no lawyer. I have no clue what is what. So I'm guessing there will be interesting things coming up, and people will make videos about it. Hello, Dutch. Speaking of Dutch, Catalyst Game Labs. They've acquired Ironwind Metals. For you who don't know, Iron Metals is a company doing premium metal mechs for BattleTech. So let's look at that little paper there. The wording, as I understand it, is that head of Ironwind is stepping back to be able to care for his partner Melissa, which is absolutely fine, no problem there. What I find interesting is where was that? I wish I would have made a marker on there. So basically, they're saying they're oh, there. While Iron Metals and its Ralpatha brand is now a wholly owned subsidiary of Catalyst Game Labs. So, Iron Metals is a US-based company. What about Ralpatha Europe? Because it says the Ralpatha brand. Is Ralpatha a complete set? Or is that some kind of distinct legal entity because that's a UK-based company? Hello, James Hugh Knitz. Thanks for the subscription. Yes, Dutch experience hands. Well, technically, experience doesn't mean you're good at anything. You just did the same mistake over and over again. So Ironwind in UK, Europe, and US is used to be at separate companies. Well, it could be interesting then if Catalyst is claiming the whole brand. It's all very, very foggy, especially since Catalyst Game Labs technically doesn't own the BattleTech license, but is just getting rights to produce the game via the means of the Tops Corporation. It's all very, very funny business, and I'm not sure how this will turn out in the long run. I is a bit scared. Just prior to getting online, I've seen there was an email on the latest BattleTech Kickstarter update. I haven't read it. I'm almost too scared to look at it because whatever I may find. Weirdly enough, this thing from Ironwind getting acquired by Catalyst is already 11 days old, and just today, Catalyst put it in their newsletter. Hence, why I noticed it, and then looked at Ironwind Metals and have seen that they have been pasting that same document 11 days ago on their blog. And funny enough, even on the Discord from Catalyst Game Labs, nobody seems to care or notice, which strikes me a bit odd. But so much for the news. Catalyst Game Labs is slow, yes, but since they've already announced it in their own newsletter, I don't think they would censor it, James. Open it now, he says. I'll give it a quick look-see. What's the address again? Kickstarter, my butt. Would you please open, you slow, terrible apparatus? Where is it? Where is it? More pledges. Still waiting for loading. Battletech Persones. There it is. Updates. Read more. Why I don't let you, would you kindly? Yes, Demon Sub, would you kindly? Hey there, Beckers. US, Canada, rest of world without hubs. Wave 3 is complete. Is it? UK, Wave 3 is complete. Is it? EU, Wave 1 and 2 and 3 are complete. Exclusivity has ended. Well, I know I have all my stuff. Has anybody else got their stuff completely? Or are you still missing things? Australia completing Wave 3 this week. And Asia is complete and awaiting pickup. Complete with shortages. Yeah, that's final Wave 4. Other updates. So change retailer compensation. That's for other people. New website has launched. Yeah, it's still gathering horrible amounts of shipping charges. Yeah, that's about it. And there's one comment. And why ignoring the big news of Catalyst Game Labs taking iron metals? Oh, internet, you never disappoint. Hello, Thork. No, Jerry is not terrorizing the locals. He is having an interview with some kind of person, company, thingamajig that's living on the other side of the planet. And no, I don't know who he's talking to. Only that the interview was scheduled for now. Literally. Probably that Aussie with the new World War II playing game. What was that called again? What was that called again? You mean the one with the planes on the telescopic antennas? Elder Gothic, no, that's not the one. Skies of Britain. Angel 1-6, that's the one you're talking about? I don't know, is that company from the other side of the world? Savage Mouse Games, never heard of them. Let's look into them. Oh, weird search results. Not found on the internet, other than the one article on Beasts of War. Okay. So yeah, website. There's one. Doesn't say anything. Face page. Face page information. Nope. I wouldn't know where they're from. It's a .com domain. They could be anywhere. Yosh could be, but I wouldn't think Crown or Command would be. I think he would. If I don't think On Tabletop would do a interview with Yosh. Other way around, yes, but then I don't think Jerry would have made a appointment for now. But I might be wrong. Toros has done some digging. Royal Partha Europe changed to Royal Partha Europe Miniatures and Games when Royal Partha US closed down. Still, that leaves Battletech and Royal Partha Miniatures are produced under license. Oh, so theoretically, Royal Partha Europe could lose the right to produce miniatures under license, which would be a stupid thing to do because, as tariffs go, that's the most accessible way to get miniatures in Europe, I feel. Fire said, that's a new curse word, isn't it? It's almost like, may you live in interesting times. Oh, bloody hell. Well, we will see. It's definitely a day that had some interesting news. I mean, I couldn't care less about Games Workshop and what they're doing, but I don't think it's a good thing if they run rampant and just sue everybody under the sun just for using the name, like they did in the 90s. I'm sure the older folk and you remember how many fan sites on the internet had a wall of text at the bottom stating, yeah, all this is just fan work, we don't intend to infringe on copyright, and bloody hell, that was exhausting. No, Dutch hasn't yet. Hello, Redverse. Good evening. Yeah, Crispin, currently it really seems like Games Workshop is caring more for the IP than actually making a proper game, but that has been the case for some time now. And to be honest, and to be brutally fair, there are some 3D creators who are not on a very thin edge on regarding legality. They are way beyond the edge. I've seen some 3D models being marketed so blatantly. I was wondering why the banhammer wasn't coming down on them. Yes, that's why Space Marines aren't called Space Marines anymore. They're now Primaris, which is yeah. Yeah, I think there was a lawsuit when somebody slapped them in the face, disallowing them to trying to copyright generic terms like Imperial Guard and Space Marines. Especially since Space Marines is so generic, it's just hard to think of anything more generic. Haven't they tried that with a fantasy range as well? Elves and dwarves, which is, yeah, not much better. Oh, some of you might have seen my recent project, and I'm actually, unless something happens, going to play a game of Frostgrave. I actually pulled my finger from my butt and scribbled up some warbands. So I might be dead by Friday because my head exploded understanding how to play a new game all by myself with my friend. Yes, that's what they're called in German, because Frostgrave actually has a German translation. And the what you call it, the warband and quick start rules and quick reference sheet are free to download from miniaturicum.de. So there's your warriors thingamajig and Magierbogen. I'm not sure how this will work out. I thought I'd just take a Necromant and a Thaumaturg and put them in a head-to-head combat with just most generic things ever, and decided on which spell to take via the means of dice. So this could go horribly wrong. Could be very much fun. I'll think we'll see. And if I remember, I will take some pictures of the battle boards, because we know Jerry loves some battle reports of battle boards and battle games. Of course, it sounds like disease. Why shouldn't it? You city people. Anybody in the audience has played Frostgrave version 2.0? I guess some of you have. Charles, that might be. Though I think one of the charges they have tried in the past was actually claiming that the BattleTech Warhammer Mac was infringing on their copyright, even though the Mac was older than the Warhammer IP. So, Demon's Up has played. Oh, and he played a Necromancer. What was your favorite? What you would call it? Spell. What would you say is the most useful spell for a Necromancer? Let's see how good the dice have decided. Taurus never played it. Well, I haven't played it, even though I've owned it for about 3 years now. No, close to 4 more. Oh, fuck. Turn undead. That's not a Necron spell, at least not if they haven't gone completely wrong on the translation. Bone of the Earth. That's good. That's one of the 3 I've made from dice. So we have I'm not sure how these are translated. There's Animated Skull, Bone of the Earth, and Stealing Life Force, for lack of a better term. So we'll see how that works out. Nick modified some minis for Blood Bowl. So did you take Blood Bowl miniatures and modified them, or did you take some normal miniatures and made them Blood Bowl-y? Yeah, I've I don't think Summon Zombie is that a thing. Yeah, it is. But I made sure that there would be no spells that only affect pre-game and between games. Just to make sure that we both would have equal amounts of random spells that could be actually used. So this is just for a quick learning game. Frostgrave minis and Blood Bowl them. Well, I guess that's easy to do then, because the Frostgrave stuff is really nice to work with. I love the North Star mini models. Speaking of North Star minis, North Star, you okay? I'm waiting for my Scullybobs for 4 months now. Would you kindly please get on your buttocks and produce more Oathmark Scullybobs? Thank you. Yes, Demon Sub, I can see why you would have too many minis from Frostgrave. Though to be fair, they are so versatile, you can use them for anything, and just have a kit of them sitting right around the corner to have bits and bobs to convert other miniatures is, I think they are so much value for money. Yes, Dutch, that's what I said. Get off your buttocks. You filthy animals. Oh, the cyborg plastics, was there those the one that look like a bit like the Borg? I like them. Hold on a sec. Let's see, what do I have left from my building of Frostgravies? I had a box of warriors and a box of wizards. And that's what's still left on spare parts. There's some pouches, arms, and heads for Miles. Even more arms and heads and wizard weapons. Some more weapons and arms and heads. Gravely bits. Even more arms and weapons. And assorted arms and greebly bits. So, yeah. Mainly lacking some torso. I think if Northstar would ever just make a sprue that's nothing but torso and legs, that would be a very good deal for everybody who collects Northstar. Yeah, I feel if I was to play more fantasy games, I'd get more mileage out of that set. But depending on how the game will work out on Thursday, I might be inclined to grab some more, potentially. Who knows? Not that I have any space left to do anything, but when did that ever stop me? And maybe I should just then choose boxes that are in stock. Random chaos with those D220s. Well, chaos is fine by me. I'm prepared for random chaos stuffy bits. Usually good question, Nick. So, do people leave their stuff, uh, bits on sprues, or do they start organizing? Um, I did organize my spare parts for Warhammer of all games because I don't have that much bits for that, so I needed a way to find stuff quickly. I haven't sorted any spare bits from this kit because this way it takes up way less space. With Star Wars Legion, there is currently almost no bits because prior to the newer models on sprues, everything came in a bag and was accounted for. And even the sprue current bits are you build everything and nothing is left but the bare sprue, so there is no parts. Also, same for BattleTech. BattleTech doesn't have spare parts. You get a model, that's it. So I probably would start doing sorting bits if I were to play more fantasy and collect more fantasy models like the Frostgrave, Oathmark, and other bits. Just to have easier access to find stuff. On the other hand, I have made the experience it's very hard to gauge how big your tub should be for certain pieces. So you might end up with an enormous mountain of left arms with no weapons and just a small tub with left arms with shield or something. Hello, Radagast. Welcome and hello. Don't work yourself to death. Yes, Nick. That's almost like the hobby equivalent of the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Starting off well organized, and then suddenly there's a wave of plastic crashing. Excuse me if I'm constantly touching my nose, but I've got an itch. It's horrible. I'm not sure why. I think there's a new event of hay fever coming around. It's annoying me, so don't mind. Don't pay attention to me doing this all the time. It's just, yeah, poor me. So yes, do I sort my bits? Sometimes. For Taurus, there's a middle way. You could start clipping sprues if they are organized as the Frostgrave are. Because, let's grab one. That's an empty one, that doesn't really help. So you could basically... this is just arms. So you could take the top off and have gribbly assorted bits. Arms, 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 and down here are heads. So you could start to organize it to a degree before going completely mad and just go, this is a left arm, this is a left arm, this is a left arm. You have to sort your bits, but if you sort them too much, it's playing with them. You think? I'm not sure if I can subscribe to that definition. Good night, Duchy. See, there's a. I think that there's a diminishing return thing when clipping off sprues. If your sprue is, let's say, 50% plus still on sprue, you can't get it much flatter and well organized and easy to find. If the sprue only contains a few bits and bobs, you might as well just clip it. I mean, I'm now very lucky to play 3 games that are basically bitless, which is BattleTech, Star Wars Legion, and Bot War. So no spare parts. But that also means I'm very rarely doing kit bashes and conversions. So maybe I should start scouring flea bays and what do you call it, garage sales, boot sales, flea markets, and look at other people's stuff. But for some reason, people tend to ask a lot of money for their bits and bobs. For some reason, like they would do anything with them at any time. Yes, plastic sprue. That's a good point. You could use some sprues, and I think last year or the year before, I did a big cleanup on my big closet there behind me because I've amassed so many sprues that didn't contain any parts. Because again, Legion doesn't have any spare parts. That I didn't know what to do with them anymore, so I just tossed them in the bin. And by this point, I'm having a big pile of them again, so yeah. Oh, and as I was talking about North Star not getting their stuff delivered and stock put back into the store, I'm also still waiting on my delivery for Armored Clash. Jerry knows. Jerry always knows. So apparently the Imperium should have been delivered by Q1 of 2025. Yeah, now it's been pushed to Q2. Q2 is almost done, and I today asked them, well, what about my order? And they're, sorry, but it's not there yet. Yes, that's what I thought, James. I thought the Clash Prussians were supposed to be out by now. And Nick, of course, you're right. They didn't go into the bin, it's plastic. They went into the proper recycling bin. Thomas, I don't think I want to know where you're sourcing that kind of news, but apparently Chinese border control and its biometric AI system fell apart when 2 identical twins arrived and the machine refused to accept one of them as it thought they've already been scanned. This, ladies and gentlemen, if true, would show the missing implementation of a failed state. When a programmer hasn't been doing his due diligence and catching all exceptions to program. Yeah, AI will not kill us. We will do that way before. Fucking hell. How do you have only a first name, James? Or was he called Little Jimmy Drop Table? But border control. I'm not sure how many of you are following Warren on Face page. Warren apparently has been coerced into flying. He visited the new offices of Wyland. Yes, Warzone has taken flight, and he was quite happy about it. Business Daddy made him. Well, did he made him, or did he sweeten the deal? We don't know. Discuss. To be fair, I'm missing Warren and Lloyd on the weekend and XLBS. Uh I'm a bit scared that they are pulling out. We will see. Yes, Demon Sub, he posted it himself. At least it was his profile. But maybe somebody took his profile. Yes, Orinoco, that was the reference he was getting. I ain't getting on no plane, drinks milk, falls asleep. Crispin, uh, uh, yes, you're correct. And yes, you're correct again. There have been many changes take place in the last few years, especially since the bloody pandemic. Uh, expect Accept a new project system. Well, it works, kinda, sort of. Um, I'm I'm pretty sure Tom does what he can to get things running, but currently it feels like the place is falling apart. Lies! Deception! Every day, more lies! And yes, Andor was great. It's a depressing end to a depressing ending movie, and it's just like the US now. I'm afraid it's not only the US, Crispin. There are other countries roughly on the same path. Well, Taurus, I guess it's safe to say there is no spoiler because Andor survives until the last episode because he has to die in the movie. Also, I'm very much excited for um, what's his face? The Fallout series that is getting a new episode season starting December, I think. James, I think he did die on the movie. That's pretty. That's pretty much established. What I found a bit irritating. I've watched while we're on the subject of Star Wars. Please ignore me going bananas. I've recently watched a new painting video by Sarastro as he was painting new Star Wars miniatures and a old set, and I was thinking, why does he have those droids there? Did he buy extras? And then I looked at my box, and no, no, the bloody droids are actually part of the box. I didn't notice. Is that some kind of, I don't know, ignoring stuff? Oh, Crispin is flying over the pond. Just be careful that you'll be able to get back home later. Taurus says the Expanse is making a new series. Is that something that comes after the original series, or where will we put that? It's okay, the box is full of cocaine minis. Not anymore. Those are all already Atomic Mass games, not Fantasy Flight games, miniatures. Or are they? Better not take a risk and take a look. Not that I'd be having some kind of stash here and unknowingly having hoarded copious amounts of money. Let's see. Oh, I see a bag. Tokens and faces. Let's see what's in the bag. Bag doesn't open. Bloody hell. So much for a resealable bag. Oh yeah, he could sleep at Warren's basement of terror. Hold on. Let there be light. No, I just think my eyes are playing tricks on me. For a second I thought there would be flashing on the models, but nope. As is tradition with Legion models, and you can say about them what you will, but there's a next to zero amount of flashing. Oh, hello, Jill. When did you get in? I'm just taking a little peek at the contents of this here box, and because I was completely unaware that it contained droids. 2 of them. I thought these were stormtroopers only. I is getting old. As long as your wife is drinking with you, Crispin, and you're not drinking because of your wife, I feel that's valid. No worries, Jill. We're still missing a Jerry because he's doing an interview with some company from somewhere else around the world, so we're just chit-chatting about random news I found on the internet and found amusing. Excuse me. If I wanted to do an unboxing, I would have prepared my bloody overhead camera, but that's currently turned off and not powered. You know what? Let's do a because boxes for Legion come in twos, in pairs. There's a Aufstandskontroll Sturmtruppen. Oh, riot control. And we have the Schläferzellen der Rebellen. Or sleeper cells. Now, that's not technical difficulties. It's being completely unprepared and semi-professional. Huh. Speaking of professional, totally forgot to mention that. On the 16th, so 4 days ago, was my 5 years Twitch affiliate. What do you call it? Anniversary. So for over 5 years, Twitch deems me worthy of getting enormous amounts of money to spend on booze and liquor and other things. Jill got a big clone collection recently for fire sale price with the benefit of not having to build the models. Hookers, yes. Though I know my wife will be okay with booze and liquor. I think she'll draw a line at hookers. I might be wrong. I could ask her. So this box should contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 rebels and a wonky droid. Let's see if it's actually true. Twitch is so caring for all of us. Do you really want to say the word hooker? Yes, please. If anybody from Twitch or YouTube is listening, I don't care what you think. We can swear, we can shout. No, James, she knows me. She knows what I'm doing, so she's not wondering why I'm screaming, hookers! It's a rugby position. So, again, I mean, I'm not sure why they didn't start with these miniatures from the get-go. I'm guessing there will be some reason to it. Why is there... Huh? Ah! See, that's what you don't see is, take a look at, where is he? The guy on the, where my pinky is. That's a sniper-like guy, and he looks like he's wearing a very interesting kind of coat. No! He has a big piece to hide behind. That's interesting. Yeah, these are AMG models, but they are new in the way that these are made on sprues, but they're still on the old packaging, so new releases they are not yet. But as I understand, this is the quality they are aiming for with the rest of the releases. And since the starter boxes are going to be quite inexpensive, considering how much single boxes are going to cost, I'm actually really heavily tempted to get me one. What did I calculate? 230 if bought in single packs, and they are going to be sold at 95. So yeah, very tempting. Though I need to paint them all, and that's a scary proposition. I'm debating trying to set myself to the challenge to paint up everything I own before new starters come out. Good luck with that. Yes, Demon Sub, that's Tactical Rock and the vertical position. I think that's a valid approach for Tactical Rock. Well, the white ones are the ones I'm least scared of, because the way I painted them, and let's face it, they are most basic white. It's just prime white, add black dots, a wee bit of wash, some white stripe brushing, done. Well, stripping is something that works on its own. Just put them in some stripping material and be done for. Yes, James. Actually, we know what's in the starter packs. When at AdeptiCon they made a slideshow. Let me put this up. I need to find this quickly. Atomic Master Games, Star Wars Geligen Transmissions. Somewhere. Where's the Adepticon stuff? Legion update. Roadmap to Legion. Where's the bloody picture? There is the bloody picture. So, let me pull you in. Where's the button? That's the button. So this is the Legion Rebel set. You get 22 Rebel Troopers, 6 Wookiees and Rebel Commandos, and a Luke. Basically, these 22 Troopers are 2 packs each at 50. I'm guessing these will be 1 pack each also at 50. So this is 200, and single characters are currently around 30-ish. So this is 230 in miniatures, plus everything you need to play the game. Cards, dice, movement tray, movement tools, and range ruler. And a wee bit more easier to calculate is the Empire box, because it's 2 boxes of Stormtroopers, 2 boxes of Scout Troopers. We already know the prices for the Stormtroopers is 50, Scout Troopers is 50, so these are 200 plus a Vader, 230, and again, everything you need to play. So if you just want to have an army to yourself and be able to play with other people, 1 box is sufficient. And it's roughly 35-ish minis per box. So where's my calculator? Yeah, 270, 272 per mini, roughly. So that's not a stupid question, Jill. The old unit boxes were actually just 7 minis, and you were able to pick 6 into a squad base of 4, add a leader and a heavy, so you would have a mini in different with a heavy weapon, so you would do 2 different heavy weapons. The new unit sizes can be from 4 to 10, so you can take 1 4-man troop, add a heavy trooper to get to 5. You can then add a single leader miniature to be 6, or instead of using the single leader, there's an upgrade option to add another 5 troopers. So your trooper set can be 10 miniatures. If the resculpts of the stormtroopers and rebel troopers are at the same level as the other ones that I've currently unpacked are, then they will work very nicely as display boxes. Yes, Jill, they have. 11 miniatures is a box. So the new core trooper box for Rebels and Empire will contain 11 minis for 50 euros, pounds, dollars. That's why these big starter boxes are such good value. Don't be sorry. My brain would be mush usually too, but this is one thing I've gone back and forth on a lot, and for some odd reason I didn't catch the pricing on the boxes when I started writing a very lengthy blog post on my blog, and only when I started putting in images from their site, I realized, oh, they say it would be $95. Huh? Who would have thunk? Because if you go back, you may remember that Atomic Mass Games did some army sets for the old version, which were the Blizzard Force, the 501st, and then some. And I did calculate those prices way back when those were released. They also were quite cheap, but not as cheap. Plus, they were the old sculpts. So I'm looking forward to the releases, and I hope that these will come in at Q3 as is displayed at your monitors right now. And then later, Q4, Separatists, again, with a lot of minis, roughly around the same price point. And Republic, with a lot of minis. So looking for sheer miniature count, Republic 38, Separatist 39, 37 for the Empire, and 36 for the Rebels. So most miniatures you get on the Separatist pack. Though I'm not holding my breath on how the new B1s will be made. If they still need to be pardon me, if they still need to glue the head in two pieces, that's going to be a nightmare. I'm not sure Huts ever will be an army because they usually don't fight for themselves, Redverse. So I'm guessing they will be, if at all, just be a what do you call it? Some kind of backdrop. Yeah, but same goes for the Stormtroops Shield. I know that from just looking at these pictures, they do look like the old ones. I'm not sure though. Have the B1s been on sprue already, or have they still were they still in bags? I can't remember because I never collected them. If they have been on sprues, there, yeah, chances are they will be the same. But then again, they might have retooled the sprue gates just to adjust for the increase of unit sizes, because that's how the other sprues look like. They're completely retooled. And again, the only thing I remember is people cursing about how bloody awful it is to put them together. I mean, come on. Front head and front half of head, back half of head being tiny, tiny, tiny. It's an exercise in patience and yeah, everything else. I guess let's see. Did they say when the individual packs will arrive? Scrolling up quickly to make everybody sick. Doesn't look like it. Oh, there. Stormtroopers. So technically, battle droids would be out in this quarter. Let's see how they will appear on the interwebs. Yes, Tauros, exactly. That's the thing. Like a Victrix Mini. I'm not sure if those skeletons are bad or not. I'm still waiting for my delivery. North Star. Just on the pure chance somebody from North Star Miniatures is watching and or getting this forwarded. Somebody could clip this and put it to them and go, Get your act together, I want my Skellybobs. I want to make that comparison video and be, oh, how great are Oathmark, North Star, Skellybobs. But that's just me. Oh, and I think, Orinoco, you were the one showing me the video of Stali and his quest for Goblin Green. I took that video to heart, read the accompanying blog post he did, and I've ordered another green. No, Toros, no. The order is placed. I just need to wait for fulfillment. What was that bloody color called again? Hold on a sec. There it is. AK Algar Green. Might be Jill, but again, I will refer you back to my previous comment. Since they increased unit size, they might have retooled them to have more miniatures per sprue. Yes, Taurus, they do, but those are hard to get. And I'm trying to find a middle ground of Goblin Green good enough, readily available. Because if I were a very very anal person about the sheer green tone, I would mix my own. And there are some recipes out there to get a quite fitting Goblin Green tone, but I want a ready-made color that's close enough. So you're saying, Demon Sub, I could use the Oathmark skeletons as a what do you call it when people are making their own sculpts? There's a name for that little wire mesh body. I know the word. It's just not wanting to come out. Amateur. That's it. Thanks, Jill and Zeuben. That's one, yeah. So I could use Oathmark skeletons as armature for making my own little miniatures. If I were a madman. Well, okay, I am mad to a degree. Not that mad. And also not that talented with sculpty tools and stuff. At least not that I would know of. I might be tempted to try it just for shits and giggles. Has anybody of you done sculpting? Made your own miniature? Hassle-free sells dollies to sculpt on. Yeah, but I don't want dollies to sculpt on. I want my stuff ready-made. If I want to create new stuff, Redverse, does having children count? Well, technically, I guess. Mushrooms I've did as well, Demons Up. Some leftover green stuff that I didn't use for filling gaps or modeling parts, and then just make a little shroom. Yeah, Jill, that's my point. There's enough models already. We don't need to sculpt our own. I'm always in awe when people actually do miniatures 1-to-1, so on a 28mm scale, and put them full of details. I've understood how the process of a 3 times larger model would work when scaled down later on, that's a reasonable thing. But people sculpting stuff that's 28 mil high is just insane. Oh, you know what? I forgot to amend the list of Jerry has missed these following episodes. Good night, Tauros. You will not be missing much because, as you might have noticed, my lemonade is empty. So I'm running on fumes now. Oh, Horace the cheese was great. Jill, I loved Horace. I would have the interest in sculpting miniatures, but I don't see the point. At least not for me, because I might be able to make a one-off, and then what? I have that one miniature and I can't replicate it because I'm not able to cast it. So no, don't do that. No, it's not cheese lemonade, Demon Sub. What would make you think there would be even such a thing as cheese lemonade? Though giving some companies history of doing weird drinks, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a cheese lemonade out there. Oh, this makes me feel sick now. Cheese lemonade. You're weird people. Yeah, exactly. Non-metallic, metallic is a thing that I feel, if done right, really looks cool. But for me, as a someone who paints their minis to game with, is a completely wasted effort, and also takes up way too much time. If you want to be a painter, that's grand. All more the power to you. But if you want to get your minis done and on the table, just use just use ready-made metal paints. That might be so Zoipenhead that you can do non-metallic metals with speed paints, but still, it's extra work. So why bother? At least Demon Sub cheese scented candles would sound like something that's actually existing for some odd reason. Yep, Jill, my words. Happy on the painting plateau we are living on. I might get better if I would do more practice runs of stuff, but then again, I'm looking at what's sitting on top of my shelf before me. With the exceptions of the miniatures painted by Dr. Faust and Horatio, all those were painted by me, and I think they're nice. They're okay. Not perfect, not Golden Demon worthy, but I like them. Just use grey over the zenith. But what if I want gold? Zoipin What when I want non-metal metal gold? Yellow, he says. If I ever feel bored or interested in actually trying, I might try that, Zoipin. But this is not the day. This is in fact the day where I say thank you for being here. I'm going to go to bed now, after I've uploaded this video to the usual channels. I hope that next week I'm not sure. No, other way around. I'm pretty sure Jerry will potentially be not here because of his UK Games Expo thingamajigs. If we can make something up, then I will probably have prepared something less talky, more showy. um, if you're so inclined, tomorrow on Discord, 8 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. British Standard Time, on the OTT Discord, Hobby Hump Day Hangout. Just the casual, weird people talking to each other if you want. If not, the tub? No, there's no tub. Wednesday night's rambling. That's fine. Bring your sports team on, Zoipen. That's cool and all. I'll be there for an hour or two, and we will see what hell happens. And I will make sure you all will know how my ventures into Frostgrave went. With that, I bid you farewell, and have a good night and a lovely day, and now bugger off. Goodbye.